have to get my notes as well. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it's very cool to be here again on stage, and perhaps Nico, you introduce yourself quickly. Yeah. What? Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So hello everybody. My name is Nicolas Brie. I'm a senior engineering manager for HBS. I've joined now HBS from 2020. From the from my first World Cup in Doha, and then I'm here and I'm more focused on audio and intercom topics.
Very cool. Yeah, let's have a look back to what we did, and some of you guys know this already. We talked about what does it actually mean to be immersed. We won't run through this again. It could be several things while we are immersed. Could be we jump in the water, we are in the forest with a lot of trees and all this kind of stuff, or we are following a party. What is the essence of this? We try to get the same immersion, of course, for sports sound as well. We try to immerse people at home that they feel like they would be in this forest, they would be in this stadium, or they would be even in a bigger environment, in a more exciting environment than they would perhaps experience in this stadium. Why do we try to do this? To accelerate everything, simply because in the stadium, and I'm telling this now for many times, in the stadium we have, apart from our eyes and our ears, we have two more sensors which influence our experience, which is smelling, actually. Smelling the sausage, perhaps smelling the bad smell of your neighbors, and feeling, with your senses, feeling you are touched by people, of the fans, whatever, in a huge stand. This all makes immersion. How do we do this with the Euro Cups? How do we do this with football? With a lot of microphones. Yeah, we just put a lot of microphones out there to try to get a very big sound, to try to get a sound which is convincing people at home that they actually stick with the stuff, to get all the details down the road. And it's based actually on 3 layers. The first layer is the crowd sound, which is 20 microphones in total. It's a kind of choir-ish approach with a main AB, which is the main ORTF 3D, which is hanging down from the roof. And that was again the same this year in Germany for the Euro Cup, which is covering more or less the overall image, same like an AB music mixing is doing. So we get an idea of the left stand should be somewhere there, 45 degrees on the left-hand side. The right stand should be there, 45 degrees on the right-hand side. And perhaps there's even people behind me. So I'm kind of immersed already. But it's still a bit washy, the sound, which is quite distant from the audience. And think about the roof is something like 50 meters, sometimes even more, away from the left stand and the right stand. Therefore, we add, quite simple, we add spot microphones on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, and on the reverse side. And the beauty of these spot microphones, when I learned audio, I was always taught you should have enough correlation, otherwise it's not mono-compatible. Yeah? Most of the audio should be correlated, and if there ever is negative correlation, they won't be able to transmit your audio. With the crowd sound, to perceive this in a room like this one here as well, from the left-hand side and from the right-hand side, we are looking for decorrelated sound. We are looking for, ideally, 100% decorrelated sound, which means the left audio is completely different to what is coming from the right audio. Why are we doing this? Very simple. The more decorrelated sound is, the easier it is to localize, which means even if I would be going out of this door and the speakers on the left-hand side would play an audio, I could perceive that this audio is coming from the left side, and the same with the audio which is coming from the right-hand side. It's something which in movies, in cinema mixing, is done a lot. The helicopter is flying from the top right to the rear left. You even don't need to do a crossfade. Our ears are doing this crossfade. Our brain is doing this crossfade by itself. That's the beauty of decorrelation. We need both. We need somehow this glue which puts everything together. It's the same like in classical music. Otherwise, the spot microphones would be way too harsh. It would be way too close to the audience. That is the principle. Now, for a couple of years, we introduced in Qatar. That was already during the Euros in Amsterdam. the famous ORTF 2+2, which is even capturing the spot microphones with the vertical layer. Plus a lot of close-band microphones. You know this is automated nowadays. We don't need to change this anymore manually. A lot of camera sound, etc., etc. How actually, Nico, is this all done? How do we produce this in the IBC? Let's go to your slides here.
Yes. Okay. Yes, just a short interlude to give you an overview of how we manage audio and video exchange between IBC, where is located the immersive suites, and the venues. So we'll do it across two events, football event, of course. So we have up to 3 outcoming 60 channel streams coming from the venues. The first one is dedicated to immersive console. The 2 others are only for the Football World Cup design. So the second one is used for all centralized production to the ABC, and the third one is shared between centralized production and the immersive galleries, who are as well centralized. But output of the immersive, so we have 116 channel stream used for the immersive suite, of course. And then we send back as well to the venue, the 5.1 down mix from the immersive mix. For World Cup, it's used as the main 5.1 into the match coverage feed. For Euro, it was used for as a guide for A1 in the venue. So yes, a short view on the Football World Cup 22 concept. So we was full IP, so full IP from the pitch to the hand device in the IBC before MRL handover. Because we was 3 technical providers between IBC, HBS, and the venue. It has been decided to do IP range island. So each venue and the IBC was in his own IP range island. So to allow communication and subscription between venues and IBC, we used network address translation, so NIT service running into into a switch. Each venue and IBC has its own switch with a NAT device.
Next one.
Yes, please. So to do it easily, each island and is a NAT switch has permanent subscriptions, and the daily subscription between IBC and all the venues was done easily between each NAT device who was talking, we say, the same language, compared to all island was not in the same IP range at all. Regarding the Euro 24, yes, concept was different because HBS was in charge of IBC, commentary, and the adaptation kit in the venue, but all the venue kits was managed by UEFA. So all production in the venue was managed by UEFA. So we had 10 different trucks, not different almost, but 5 pair of trucks with different technologies. So we just deploy in each venue IP gateway, so IP to SDI for audio, and IP to MADI for all audio exchange. So simply, and then after the daily connection between IBC and venues was managed via our commentary system and the Lavo matrix.
So still MADI is alive as a clear demarcation point.
Yes, yes. This is a regular setup. Yes, unfortunately we are not full IP. In a nutshell, this is how we provide audio to Felix and his beautiful galleries.
Yeah, this was the gallery in Qatar, right? Yeah, that's a picture from Qatar. We slightly changed the speaker setup, so if you see this, and perhaps you saw slides from the Euro, this looked a little bit different. Here we are. We have all the feeds in, we get all the feeds out, but we are still facing a couple of problems. One problem we addressed last year, that there is actually a lot of spill in our commentary sound. Yeah, different depending on which language people are actually talking. Yeah, the English commentators are typically quite loud. The German commentators are usually quite low. And there's different tastes on how you do the commentary IS ratio. Therefore, we developed at the university, a student of mine, Jonas, did this. It's actually very simple, but it's a great tool to help to get an objective perspective on what should be the right sound for Sky, for BBC, for ARD, for ZDF, whoever. But still, there is all this spill. Therefore, we started already a couple of years ago, one or two years ago, we started in Germany to try out AI to clean the commentary. It's actually plugins which were used for post-production to clean interviews, to clean whatever speech, to put this better on your pieces. But we did this to clean up commentary sound. And let's have a listen. I'll double check this quickly before this is working. Cool. Externer Kopfhörer. What the difference is if you're using kickoff.
One will be champion. So, Spain again or England at last? Here's where we find out.
And now we switch it
England
off.
in white, launched by Pickford.
Especially if you have two commentators.
Saka can't keep it in, and Tom Goodman has his first word.
Yeah, I'm really fascinated to see how the opening 15 minutes will go. Luis de la Fuente, I'm sure he will want his team just to continue what they have been doing, because they have been quality and brilliant, whereas England have shown character.
So this
and
is
had
quite, even when it's getting loud, it's even more impressive how much this is bringing down the spill, which helps you a lot more to do the right balance. Yeah, it's typically the spill which is distracting us to get the balance right for commentary IS. So we have done this with commentary, and then a friend of mine who was also mixing in the IBC immersive said, why not using this also for our elements, for our objects, I would say for our weak objects, which is field of play, for close ball. And we tried this out and implemented this, and I will try to show you an example with, it's called tip kick here, because the players are talking as well to each other with a dedicated plugin. First, we play this solo only with a ball kick sound by itself. Now we do the same without the plugin. And you hear how much spill we have now, which means within the mix, if I unsolo it, I really have to push
Williams
the ball kicks
now from the other
to
side.
go through.
Carvajal. Laporte.
And of course it makes my life much easier if I clean
Rodri.
this, because I can fade up all these reactions
Williams.
much better without destroying the
Turn to
immersion.
T. Shaw.
Remember, we are talking about
Yamal.
immersion. We're trying to persuade people
Brock
to stay
Bellingham.
in the stadium.
Goes Lenormand. Wins it back for Carvajal. Repelled by Luke Shaw. Down.
And now you have to go through this. I know there's a lot of English people here, but you have to face this
is to
again.
up the tempo.
Carvajal for Lamal. Lamine Yamal. And Williams scores! And Spain strike first on this grand night in Berlin.
Wow, it's like they've caught England cold. Harry Kane trying to pick his team up. But what a start to the second half. We were just saying what a blow it was going to be to lose Rodri.
It's sometimes these reactions, not the goal hit by itself, is when, or was Williams, not Lamal, when Williams celebrated his goal at the corner. And of course, we were opening up this microphone. Typically, because the crowd is so loud, you wouldn't hear this easily, yeah? Or you would destroy your immersion. So it's always a balance between how much do I keep stereo left and right, or surround immersion left and right, and how much do I go into this specific sound. And I helped a lot to clean this. Let's go to another great example.
Yamal played it in.
And I still remember when Ian, sitting here, told me a couple of years ago, and there's a couple of more plugins in this chain. He said, "Hey, you bastards," or what did you say? It is way too loud with the ball kicks. But now we are in a situation that we have these cleaned objects, and we can balance this much easier, how we cope with all these individual objects. Nico, what was the challenge for you and for UEFA with this?
So the challenge has been that we had 4 fast tracks, and for the first time in 20 years of career, audio was late compared to video. Yeah, that's at least.
Because of the plugins, 70 milliseconds
Yes.
delay in this plugin chain.
Yeah.
So audio suddenly was late. We never had this before.
So we had to, in agreement with UEFA, of course, we had to ask to the Obi-Wan to delay video in the main feed. Yes. So we did it, but there is many implication of this delay because you have all the technical part of the referees. You have as well the LED board replacement, who are using the feed, but are using as well the camera one ISO feed. So you don't have to delay only one feed. You have to delay as well the ISO camera feeds to, and for sure, be sure that all is in line, timeline, to provide good quality feeds for all these services.
Yeah, I was, of course, lucky. Of course, you can imagine that this was a big political thing. Do we delay all these feeds? How do we impact the other program with this? But audio was so persuasive with the results we had that UEFA, in the end, forced the truck for the final in Berlin to add delay in the video chain and in many video chains. Another big topic, and it's actually interesting that after such an intense day and talking about how to get women in broadcast, perhaps we should talk now how to get the next generation in broadcast. Nico, what did we do?
We take a lot of your student or past student because thank you, firstly, because it's very, very good engineers, as Germany can provide. So yeah, no, as Enrique is an immersive mixer, but he's as well audio QC for other HBS events. Plenty of these people was involved into the commentary system, but as well in ABC with you. So yeah, for sure for us it's very good help, and yes, it's a good team for the future.
Yeah, I can say I have to thank HBS and of course UEFA as well this year for the trust, because this is all very young guys. Some of them, they have been in their second semester supporting the tribunes, yeah, which is, it's not super complicated, but still you have to find the right language to talk to commentators. Some of them, like Tore, he's right now, he just completed his bachelor thesis, he was switching commentary in the IBC, and he was well perceived by the commentary switching supervisor. And even one of them, Hannah, who is in the center here, it's on purpose because she was allowed even to mix a half time of one of the stage groups. Of course, I didn't let her mix the final, but she mixed one of the half stages. I know the mix was already prepared by Stefan and me and by Henrik, but still, touching the faders suddenly and me sitting in the back following kick, which was her job actually. We didn't have data. We didn't have kick data for the UEFA. So actually her job was to setting up complete rig, setting up the mixing console, and then day in, day out, following with a pen the ball kick shot. So she was actually chasing the ball kick, which was quite boring for her. I took over chasing the ball kicks. She was mixing there, and she gained a lot of experience, and now she is already, even that she didn't finish her bachelor thesis yet, she is writing this right now. She's already working for NEP Germany for, of course, it's second and third tier productions, but she's doing this by herself, setting up the Regal, setting up the Labo desk, patching everything. And thanks to HBS, and I really have to thank you, because we had this year more than 20 people there in different positions, in production, in engineering, in mixing, which was really cool. This is it from our side. Any questions? This we were running this live in Reaper. That was running on a Mac in Reaper, hooked up via, was it via MADI or via IP?
Via MADI.
Via MADI, yeah, to save latency. Yeah. MADI is in this respect much faster.
Over the summer running in a 3 server. I mean, the latency is insane.
Yeah.
It's
96.5 milliseconds. 69 this way.
having issue with having to play vision trucks against our
There was a beauty, of course, in the IBC. It's different in a truck because we have been already behind. So for most of the trucks, we had already the 8 frames video delay in the signal path. For 2 trucks, we had to apply additional video delay because these trucks were on the video side, were just faster. Yeah, it's a different game if you do this in the truck.
That's why it hasn't been optimized for this application. So much of it, okay, needs to be low latency and needs to be focused on wall sounds, for instance, it's designed for dialogue.
Officially, waves say don't use it live.
But we did it. We did it anyway. We love it, and Supertone as well. And there's I don't get any money from Waves. I don't get any money from Supertone. I don't get any money from all these companies anymore. The state is paying me. No, but it's of course we use it live for speech. And interesting was that because in Waves you can manipulate 6 or 7 bands where it should work more aggressively or less aggressively, and we know exactly the sound shape of ball kicks, which is pretty much like a kick drum, yeah, just a bit higher. That it also worked for ball kicks. You perhaps could say, yeah, but it should actually take out the ball kicks as well and the whistle of the referee. No, it was still there, and especially all the shouting of the players, the commands, and whatever the celebration, because this was again even for these neural plugins. They were trained for, of course, speech, but also just a wow, like, yeah, this is also speech for this network. And therefore, it opened up, especially the celebration stuff, which was of great help. And quite often, we really had to push this back because it was too clear. It was too close to the players. And think again about offensive language. This would have been a big drama if they would, have complained about UEFA or something like this.
No, I've got. What's next innovation-wise? What are you allowed to say? What you're looking at next, and what things you're excited about for the future tournament?
Can we talk about this? US is coming. World Cups in the US.
US is coming.
Mexico and Canada, of course.
Yeah, Mexico and Canada.
North America, you call it.
No. The challenge will be to play football into the NFL stadiums. For sure, we'll have to adjust the microphone plan. This is the biggest challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, the challenge is because it's open stadiums, there's no roof where you can hang down the microphone. So you have to be somewhere in the back. And if you're in the back, there is no surround. And there's also no height information. So we have to find new arrays. All this, all the AT microphones, the ORTF 3D, which we're using, they don't work. And we don't want to go back to an approach where you have 20 individual microphones, because again, the glue would be missing. Right now, we are discussing new approaches. And second challenge will be, because Nico is convinced that we should use these plugins to put this in the chain as well for the 5.1 and for the stereo, kind of in live.
But I think
Yeah.
it should, the US games should have, North American games will have a sound signature that will be different
Yeah.
than European games. and
Anyway.
Definitely different than South Africa.
Yeah, absolutely. No vuvuzelas in the US.
Issue is we will have a mix of stadium.
Yeah.
Into a football stadium in Mexico, into the NFL stadium in New York. Ambience, the crowd will be different.
Which is good.
Architecture is different.
Yeah.
For consistency, sorry. Yeah, it will be a bit challenging.
NPA is probably different between the countries as well. So.
Yeah. The PA is different, cheering is different. Yeah, Mexicans, I mean, they support their teams a lot. Thank you very much. Yeah, exactly. Welcome to Nuno's World. Thank you very much.
That you guys are worried about whether it's feasible to do Atmos in an NFL stadium.
Of course you can. Of course you can. Yeah. We know this. Just needs a different approach. With a drone. And you would have this noise all the time in your main microphone.
And you guys have been doing Atmos. You guys have been doing 5.4 for a long time.
Since 2018, yeah.
And kind of the height used to be tacked on to sort of, there was a 5.1 mix and then the height was sort of tacked on. Now, is the 5.1 is now derived from the 5.1.4?
With the World Cups, with HBS, it is this way. In Qatar, we were mixing actually to 5.1.4, monitoring in parallel various presentations, in total something like 14 presentations, which is surround with and without commentary and stereo with and without commentary, for the reasons we all know, because it's down mixed somewhere at the end of the chain. With the Euros, we were only producing the 5.1.4 in the IBC. 5.1 was done in the trucks. I have to finish, Roger. Get a clear sign. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.